All right, and we got Jordan with us. We'll go ahead and kick things off here. Jeff, why don't you open us up with questions for Jordan? And I've got a couple follow-ups when you're done.
Hey, Jordan, how you doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good, thank you. So I noticed like your minutes are down a little bit this year, and stats are kind of down, and not trying to harp on that too much, but just what do you kind of see from that from your perspective? Anything that you feel like needs to be improved, or what can be changed in that regard?
I think that's a question for Noe, to be honest. I feel like, I come in, I play my part, make the best of my minutes. It's not necessarily anything that I'm doing wrong. I just think, whatever Noe sees is it and what she sees throughout the game, and she goes with what she feels is best. I just know that it's my job to come in, do my part, make sure everyone is on the same page when I'm in the game and controlling the second unit or whoever's on the floor. So I'm not paying too much attention to that. I mean, I understand my role. I understand that things are different this year. We practically have a brand new team, so just trying to get people into different spots and pieces. So my mentality is just make the best of the minutes that I have and, just play my game.
And then that actually brings up a good question. You bring up kind of like the brand new team, like as the person that's kind of running that second unit, has that been more of an adjustment because there are so many different players, especially in that second unit now this season?
Yeah, it's definitely been an adjustment period for me. The previous years I've played with people that were on the team before me. So, they already knew the system and it was easier to get shots for myself and everyone that was on the floor. And, this year is pretty much, putting um, my mentality of, oh, I have to score when I'm in the second unit behind me, and just focus on making sure everyone in the second unit is getting involved first. I'm getting them involved, running plays for them. And then when it's, when I see fit for me to attack or score, then I'll do that. But yeah, it's definitely been an adjustment period for myself and just with the second unit, just because there's new pieces and, they're still trying to follow, figure out the system and our flow. But as a job as a point guard, it's my responsibility to make sure everyone's on the same accord, making sure that people are in their right spots and setting them up so that way it's easier for them, and then it'll be easier for me as well.
Definitely. And then I know you mentioned to me during the off season that you had to leave overseas play early for an injury. I know, like, as a pro athlete, nobody's ever 100% healthy, but do you feel pretty good as far as that injury goes? Do you feel pretty much recovered from that?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, not every athlete is 100%. So
Mhm.
just trying to maintain, my body, making sure it stays healthy. But for the most part, my ankle feels great. Haven't had any problems with it, since season started. So just trying to make sure that it stays healthy and my body stays healthy.
Awesome. Yeah, so as somebody who's had two ankle surgeries from torn
Oh
ligaments,
wow.
I definitely understand that, like having to
Yes.
go through all
Jeez.
that rehab and stuff.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's tough.
uh Obviously, all like Stewie and Jewel and stuff get all the credit, but well, not all the credit, but they're highlighted a lot. But I've just been so impressed with Mercedes and everything that she's been able to do, especially like defensively, just that presence inside, and scoring when she can, but just really having a big impact for you guys. Just, I guess, just talk about Mercedes' impact.
Yeah, I mean, I've played with Mercedes for so many years, whether it's USA basketball or with Seattle, and she does the little things. She's a great screener. She's a great defender. She's defending the best post every night.
Hmm.
And so just her ability to always stay consistent in that, she never wavers, she's never up and down. And, that's what I love about Mercedes, is that she's always level, she's always consistent, no matter who we're playing. And like I said, she does a little thing. She sets great screens. She gets, she cuts to the basket, she gets those shippies, she rebounds. So she does a lot for us, and she's just been a tremendous um, value and add to the starting group. And I'm just happy for her. I'm happy that she's in a position to be so successful. So love playing with Mercedes, play with her for forever, and just, you know, happy to see how she's been able to, you know, do the little things and, you know, to be a important piece to our team.
Definitely. I think just last one from me, just looking ahead here to Tuesday's matchup against the Washington Mystics. You haven't played them yet this season. What have you seen kind of out of them? I know obviously they're missing Deladon right now, but what kind of challenges are they going to bring to you guys?
You know, they're pretty physical. They're an aggressive team. They got a lot of, you know, tough guards. You know, obviously Tina Charles is always, you know, going to find hers, and Ariel Atkins has been a huge spark for them. But I think for us, it's just focusing on what we do and not necessarily, you know, what they do. Just continuing to focus on us and the things that we need to clean up offensively and defensively, and continuing to, you know, um, learn each other and to play together. Like I said, it's been a new team, so not necessarily focused on them. I just know that they're going to be a really physical team, very aggressive, and so just making sure we play our game.
Awesome. I lied. I'm gonna have one more now.
Okay.
And then I'll let you go. I just with all the changes and stuff this season, the fact that you guys are 12-2, is that even a little bit surprising? Like the fact that you guys have had so much success still?
No, it's not surprising. I mean, we have new pieces, but I think the pieces that we have are tremendous. And Katie Lou, you have a shooter. She's tall, and KB, she's physical. She's aggressive. She can get those offensive rebounds, and you know, she can knock down threes. You know, Steph, she does it all. She rebounds. She can shoot. She can defend. And you know, even Kiana, even though she doesn't really play, she helps us a lot in practice. And you know, just her speed and being aggressive. So we have, like, you know, a couple of pieces that just been a tremendous value to our team. And so I don't think it's a surprise that we are 12-2. You know, just, and then obviously whenever you have Sue and Joel and Stewie, I mean, you're guaranteed to, you know, get some solid wins in. So I think everybody on this team, you know, knows their role and plays their part. And I think that's what, you know, has made us successful thus far, is that we can just continue. Oh, and I'm also forgot, how could I ever forget Candace? You know, her ability to score one-on-one on the block and to get any shot that she wants. And I just think everyone on this team knows their role, same as previous years. It's just, you know, different pieces. And so we've been able to be successful with that. So just trying to continue that, and, you know, to learn each other better and get our chemistry going a little bit more. But I'm not surprised at all.
Awesome. Thank you, Jordan.
No problem.
All right, thanks, Jordan. We'll hold off my additional questions for another time. So we can
All
let you
right.
go. Thanks for joining
All
us.
right. Thank you.
And we'll bring in Coach Quinn here. Coach Quinn is on with us, joining us after practice. Coach, could you just give us real quick just your thoughts after the first practice back? You had the long road trip, gave the team a couple of days off, and kind of what your thoughts were today after bringing the team back in and preparing for Washington a bit.
Yeah, I thought today was an excellent practice. The intensity level was there. You know, usually after a couple of days off, that first practice is a little, you know, less energy and kind of trying to get back into the groove. But I thought, you know, our crew did a good job of focusing in, and today was about us and understanding, you know, addressing some slippage and understanding, getting back to, you know, our strengths and just tightening up a little bit. So overall, a very good day for our group.
Good stuff. Jeff, why don't you go ahead and kick us off then?
Awesome. So Coach, I guess what have been the main focus areas now with these practices heading into this upcoming week here?
You know, the same focus as we, you know, the things that we are trying to lock in on. Defensively, rebounding, keeping teams out the paint, offensively, kind of getting into the flow, making sure the ball's not getting stuck, and most importantly, having a practice together to kind of fill out one another again. Obviously, not having a lot of practice time with this group, getting better and learning each other during the games has kind of been our MO right now, but today was just that, back to basics, fundamentals, and understanding, some areas that we need to clean up, that we've had like scheme wise on our defensive end, and also just spacing wise offensively.
And then just I guess for clarity's sake, from my perspective, when you guys are like on this road trip and you have the 5 games in 8 days, is it like you guys don't really get to have like full practices? It's more like shoot arounds. Is that accurate?
On the road, yes and no. I think we created a good flow, understanding how, the games that we had a couple of days in between. Also, we had a day before the game where we kind of just have a short push, but within that time frame, yes, it's more, again, we talk about working smarter, not harder, learning through film, learning through walkthroughs. But a couple of those days, Jeff, allowed us to kind of get up and down a little bit.
Okay. And then so Sue is playing 28 minutes a game right now, which is the most since 2017. Is there any concern that kind of down the season that she could wear out? I mean, I know obviously Sue's in phenomenal shape and stuff, but just I guess playing that many minutes where she could wear down kind of later in the year.
No concern from my end. We talk about her preparation, and obviously her mindset. I mean, as a staff, in my opinion, it's about kind of putting us in a situation to win games and things of that nature. And I'm not concerned about it. And I know that she's not when we speak. And I think that she's playing at a high level. It'll be interesting to see her numbers within that compared to 2017 and that, you know what I mean? The production level is amazing. And sometimes it's hard to take her off the floor. And I know that's kind of been, the challenge is to keep her fresh at the end of the year. But I think it's important to think about the day-to-day, to even think about the end of the year, to put us in the position where we're able to be successful at the end of the year. And I think that is obviously in the back of our minds, but in the forefront of our minds is just to continue to play at a high level, and of course making sure she's feeling good. And right now I haven't heard anything less than that, so we're good for now.
Yeah. Her stats wise, field goal shooting, I think you had mentioned is way up. It's like it's 10% higher than that 2017 year. So she's doing really well with that. Let's see. Okay, so that kind of going into that leads me to the next question, which is she's having a little bit of a down season right now, and like it's the lowest scoring of her career and also the lowest minutes since her rookie season. What can you kind of pinpoint as kind of maybe reasons for that drop in production, and what can you do to kind of help her get back on track?
Yeah, I think just a matter of not having our initial team at the beginning. We talked about just finding rotations and finding groups that kind of mesh well together. And within that, I think, the other aspect of it, Jeff, was, we talked about trying to keep either Jewel, Sue, or Stewie on the floor at all times. And within that, sometimes those minutes for Jordan aren't there, especially if you get Pip playing at a high level, Steph playing at a high level. And, the ability for Jordan to play on the floor with Sue, that was what we were going to early on, you know what I mean? So again, there's just a matter of trying to figure out that sweet spot for Jordan. I think that defensively, she can always pressure and disrupt. I think we can get easier baskets for her in that manner. I think, understanding our rotations a little bit better now. I think that time will kind of increase with her out there on the floor, and her ability to, change a game with her pace and her defensive presence. And I know we're midway through and we think our rotations are solidified and it should be that. Right now, it's still kind of a work in progress, honestly. And sometimes it becomes game to game. I'm one to kind of if you're rolling, keep you out there no matter what the minutes are. And that kind of alluding to Sue's minutes, it's a couple of those games she's rolling, it's hard to take her out. But yeah, with Jordan, I just think it's a matter of just getting her back confident, getting her to to pressure a little bit more and get easier baskets and still getting a passing lane for herself, and just kind of reinforcing that she's in a vital role for us. Like, her role is super important, and just having her understand that and stay the course within that. And, within that, I think those minutes are going to continue to increase.
Definitely. And then this is kind of goes hand in hand with that question. I was just thinking, so like I coach youth basketball, like just at like the AAU level and stuff. And I know it's always like, it's hard not to want to just like ride your like best players, a lot. And how do you balance that? Cause sometimes like the reserves, like if they don't get enough minutes, they can't really show that production. And so it's like balancing that where like, if you actually just, if you allow them to play enough, maybe they'll actually be able to produce more, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I absolutely know what you're saying. And it is a challenge, because there is very much happening in the game, or occurrence in the game that can happen, is that there can be a drop off, or there can be an elevation. And what, those units have to understand is that there has to be just this even kill. Like, there cannot be a drop off in production. You know what I mean? And you're right, with more reps comes the confidence building. And, with not a lot of practice time that comes within games sometimes. And then it's a balance of trying to figure out how to let it roll, how to let that group develop chemistry, how to let whatever unit is out there find, success within the game and that time. But also it's like, we've experienced times in the game where, that lead has dwindled down. And as a coach, trying to just maintain that gap, it is a challenge for me, and it is a challenge to understand who needs to be on the floor and what group that can be. But at the end of the day, I trust everybody, and that will continue to show, I believe, with the reps and the minutes and the group feeling comfortable with one another, that chemistry developing. And, if we continue to maintain leads and increase in that moment of time, then that's when that confidence and that trust continues to build. You know what I mean? So it's tough. I'm not going to even front. It is a challenge, and we're trying to win games and figure it out for each other. And I just hope that, I trust everyone, and just trying to find a sweet spot with certain rotations still. You know what I mean?
For sure. I think probably just the last one for me, because I'll probably be driving up to Everett for when you have the pregame for Tuesday. So I guess just looking at Washington Mystics, you guys haven't faced them yet this season. Obviously, they're without Elena. What are kind of be the biggest challenges and keys for that game?
Tina Charles. What Coach Tebow does really well offensively, he spaces the floor because he understands what we try to do defensively. They're a very good 3-point shooting team. And though, they have low numbers right now, they're playing with 8. That group is playing with some fire, some desire, and they're, playing at a high level. Natasha Cloud just got hurt the other day. I'm not quite sure what their roster will look like. But I think the biggest thing is understanding that Tina Charles is their go-to, that she's, able to hit from the outside. She's a load in the inside. She can get buckets. And I think it's important to also understand that Ariel Atkins is tough as well. They have pieces that complement Tina. And so what comes with Washington is, veteran experience, very good coaching and situating them where they need to be, and just this grittiness about them. They've been pulling out these wins without with a short roster. You know what I mean? So, we have to focus on us and pay attention to our schemes and lock in on our schemes and, play at a high level, play at a consistent level. There can't be any drop off.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate you joining us. And thanks, Jeff. We'll have Stephanie Talbot here hop on here in just a second. All right. Thanks for joining us, Steph. We appreciate it. And Jeff, why don't you go ahead and kick us off here with Steph's questions for Steph.
Hey Steph, so getting a few days rest, how was that? Obviously after playing the 5 games in 8 days, and what I guess has been the big focus now turning into this upcoming week.
Yeah, I think travel day Friday and then having yesterday off was great. Relax, do a few things around the house, and then back into training today, feeling a bit fresher was a good day to work on some things as a team, work on some things individually, and then get ready for the next game.
Awesome. And then I know I was just talking to Coach about it, but from what you've seen from Washington this season, what are going to kind of be the keys to getting the win on Tuesday?
Yeah, I think team defense will be a big thing. They have obviously Tina Charles is balling for them right now.
Mhm.
Atkins has the ability to go off, and they have a lot of shooters. So I think team defense and being able to lock down and shut those players down will be big.
So when you got traded to Seattle in the offseason, and now we fast forward and the team is 12-2, the number 1 seed in the WNBA, how is like that? How is, I guess, the reality been versus expectations?
Yeah, I mean, I'm loving it here. I love the girls. Been like a bit up and down in my role as the season's gone on, but I think we've really started to find some rhythm now, so that's good. I like the city. So I mean, yeah, I'm happy. I think my expectations were a little bit unknown coming in, but yeah, it all worked out.
Awesome. And then you mentioned the city there. Have you been able to kind of visit around the city much? Anything that's like been a highlight for you, either like a destination or a food place or anything?
Not yet. Still learning my way around, finding my favorite coffee shops. I'm big on that. But the weather's just starting to warm up now, so I think be able to get out. I'm a big outdoor person. I like summer, so I think we'll be able to get out a bit more now and enjoy the weather, especially with a few home games coming up. We'll be able to explore a little bit.
Yeah, the weather's pretty good here in the summertime. I saw Brianna Turner from Phoenix tweeting about in Phoenix it was like 109 degrees yesterday or something. That's a little bit too hot.
Yeah, that's crazy.
How's the weather compared to Australia? Like, what do you guys get normally around?
Honestly, like, I mean, I know it's early, but the summer seems like it's pretty similar. It's dry heat. It gets lots of sunny days, which is similar to where I'm from. Yeah.
And then I know you mentioned, obviously it's been a little bit of a challenge because like you've been in the starting lineup, you've been off the bench and everything, and it's unclear. But I mean, I guess is that just part of being a professional? Like, hey, like whatever is asked of me, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I think just adjusting as quick as you can and doing what you can is kind of part of being a professional, I think. I've done that a lot in my career over here, come in and out of starting lineups as I've played when there's been injured or whatever. I've always had the ability to step up and fill in that starting role, but I think I've gotten a lot better. I think it's a skill being able to play off the bench, knowing your role and being able to come in and do what you do. It's kind of something you learn how to do. I think even just like trying to help Ezzy through that, or the younger players, you often go through your junior career being a main player, and then you get here and you have to learn. It's a skill, learn how to come off the bench and have an impact. So yeah, I think it's working.
Definitely. And then, yeah, that actually brings up a good point with Ezzy. Like, I know, minutes for her have been a little bit limited this season. Do you have conversations with her about, I guess just how to work through that?
Yeah, I try and help her where I can. Obviously, I've been through that. So if I can give her tips help keep her confidence up wherever I can. I'm obviously gonna have her back. She's my girl. So yeah, I think she's getting better as the season goes on at knowing what to do when she comes on.
Awesome. And then I think probably just last one for me, with you guys, playing for the Olympics in Australia, is there any expectation to miss any of the WNBA season to go over there, or should you be able to play all the games?
I think they're discussing it now. I think there's a possibility the national team wants us to miss the last 2 games before the break, which are both against Phoenix, which is Sandy's team. So I'm a little bit mad, but they're working through that at the moment.
Do you think that's a little bit strategy on her part to like, hey, if you guys cannot play against my WNBA team?
I know, right? But at the same time, if she's asked, she won't be coaching either. So not like she's saying you can't play, but I'm going to coach. But yeah, just how it worked out.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Steph, so much.
No problem.
All right. Thanks, Steph. Appreciate you joining us. Thanks, Jeff. I'll see you guys all later.